How's everybody doing today? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, we're gonna talk this boxing. We got our boy back again, man. DC Mike is in the building. Have you guys forgot? I mean, come on, man. D&B zone, man. DC Mike, man. So, DC Mike, let everybody know what you've been up to. Let everybody know what's coming up next. And let the fans know, man. Let the fans know what to expect from you coming up. I know you got a fight coming up in February. Let them know.
Yeah, what's up, Corey? Thanks for having me on again. We got obviously for those who don't know, I'm from Washington D.C. and we have some upcoming cards coming up in the DMV area. We got a card coming up. Corey, I wish I would have sent you text you that picture of the flyer for your phone that where you could have displayed it on your channel. But February
We'll get
19th.
it. We'll get it on the next one.
Okay, February
We still got
19th.
a little bit of time.
Yeah, February 19th. We got Jetta Promotions. Former boxer Tony Jetta, now promoter. Excuse the feedback in the background, everybody. Here's a call coming up February 19th at the Maryland Live Casino, headlined by Jordan Short Dog White, taking on Gadwin Rosa for the WBC USNBC 130-pound title. And a co-main event being Damon Nicholson taking on Gabriel Pham. So for those who live in the DMV area, if you're able to make it up to the Maryland Live Casino, which is about 40 minutes outside of DC, come on up north and come to the fight. Oh yeah, and one more great thing: the betting book, FanDuel, they just put that up at the Maryland Live Casino. So now you can bet on fights, basketball,
Woo!
football, whatever you want to bet on.
Woo! Woo! Is it finally here?
Only here, yep.
Wow.
Yeah, Ed Reed was up there when they cut the ribbon with the Maryland Governor Larry Hogan. Your former Ravens, Ed Reed, he was up there. So yeah, so if y'all in the Denver area, come out February 19th. Maryland Live Casino is going to be crazy. Great casino, 5,000 seat venue. It's going to be bananas.
Wow, man, that sounds so amazing, man. Ed Reed was there, man. That's my brother's favorite, one of my brother's favorite football players, man. I would have loved to get a signed jersey by Ed Reed, man. That would have just that would have had my brother doing backflips, dude. Him and he got a Ray Lewis one, but he never got an Ed Reed one though. So I know that they're neck and neck because they play with each other. Wow, so a Hall of Famer,
Yep,
so a Hall of Famer, Ed Reed was okay. So Maryland's all about the gambling right now.
yep. It's official.
Wow. Wow. How do you feel about that, man? Do you think that's gonna bring more excitement to the DMV area?
So, and it also give people a chance to bet on their favorite fighter, boxing wise, anyway.
Yeah, yeah, for
You guys are
sure,
pretty.
man.
Yep,
He's lying, man.
it's going to be a
So
great
yeah,
night.
man. So when is that? When is that date coming? When is that?
February 19th.
Okay, February 19th, you guys. You guys gotta mark that in your calendar. Wow, man, that's awesome, man. So yeah, moving forward, man, we got a lot to talk about in boxing, dude. We have not talked about a lot of these things in a while, DC Mike, man. I'm kind of excited to talk this stuff about with you, man, because it's been a while. It's been a while. As you guys all know, you know, a lot has been going on. Teofimo Lopez got beat. So he's done right now. He's saying in recent statements, he's saying that actually he is gonna be coming up. He's gonna be fighting, and he said he's gonna be undisputed at 140. He has not fought at 140 yet, but he said he's gonna be undisputed at 140. And they're talking about Teofimo's quote unquote warm up fight is against Montana Love. I've seen Montana Love, and he's been getting a lot better lately. How do you see that fight going down, DC Mike? That's a barn burner, man. I think, wow, that's an exciting fight, man. For his first fight at 140, Teofimo Lopez, and for him to say that he's going to be undisputed at 140, does he get past Montana Love at 140? He's been on a
Um,
tear lately.
yeah, Montana Love is actually pretty good. Are they really labeling that fight as a tune up for Teofimo?
I mean, I don't know if they're labeling it as a tune-up, but he's saying from what I'm believing. I don't believe that's for a belt right now,
Right,
and he's saying he's going to be undisputed in 2022. So my recollection of everything and the way I see everything going is I see Montana Love as being in the way of Teofimo Lopez trying to be undisputed at 140,
right.
and I
Yeah,
that's a big role.
Montana Love is a good fighter. The only thing he don't have to worry about with Montana Love is punching power. But as far as boxing skills,
I
Montana
don't know,
Love.
man. I don't know. I don't want to cut you off, DC Mike, but I don't know, man. He's been knocking out guys lately, man. Or do you feel like it's the level of competition?
I think it's a level of competition, but I guess if anybody get hit with a good shot, I guess they can get knocked out. But I wouldn't look at Montana Love as a tune-up opponent. Just like everybody looked at Cambosis as a tune-up, they didn't know who he was, and he came in and did the unthinkable. So I mean, I wouldn't look at Montana Love as a tune-up opponent. I would take everybody seriously. And as far as with him saying he's going to be undisputed in 2022, I mean, he got to start fighting champions like right now. he, he got to start fighting
Yeah.
champions right off the bat. I don't want to, call, Teofimo, delusional or anything like that. But I mean, come on, let's be honest, Corey. For him to do that, he got to start fighting champions like right now, like literally champion after champion after champion. And and I know that's not going to happen. He don't have all of card all the favor in his odds for him to keep fighting champion after champion. It's like you got to climb the ladder. You can't just say, "Well, give me that champ, give me that champ." It don't work that way. At least in his favor, anyway. It ain't like he's Mayweather. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. He's not, at the level of Mayweather to where he can start doing that. So, um, I mean, like I said, I don't want to call him delusional or anything like that, but he has to start fighting champions now. And and I know it ain't gonna happen. He gotta, climb the ladder, fight low guys he can get past first, and then obviously they'll start giving him champions. Once he basically has to prove himself at 140, basically. So I mean, all this he's gonna be undisputed. I mean, to be champion for him to say he's gonna be champion at 140 in 2022, that sounds realistic. Now to say he's gonna be undisputed at 140 in 1 year, I don't know.
That's hard. It took fucking Josh Taylor at least what 3 years,
Yeah, it took
and
Jevin
that's
Hurd.
fighting fucking everybody. That's fighting. I mean, Josh Taylor went through a lot of guys, man. I ain't gonna lie. Jose Ramirez. Regis Progress. He gave Regis Progress his only loss still. Man, he's been through a lot of guys, man. Does Teofimo Lopez even beat some of the guys Josh Taylor beat? Like a Regis Progress. How do you feel like a Regis Progress Teofimo Lopez at 140 now? Remember, Teofimo's moving up to 140, so the plot thickens for him.
Really
And
do. These
these
guys are a
guys are
lot
gonna I
bigger.
feel like they're gonna be hitting harder, man.
Yeah, you're 100% right. They a lot bigger. They hitting harder, and they necessarily might not be as slick as Teofimo, but they're definitely gonna be a lot. Walking around a lot bigger and punching harder. And the counter, the pull counter he called from Cambosis his last fight. I mean, if he get hit by 140 that way, I mean, he might not
Ooh. Ah,
have his legs wouldn't have been as strong. I don't think. I mean, it seems like
You
he
were
has a
gonna
good.
you were gonna say he might not get up. That's what you was ready to say, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. But it's a good thing, Teofimo, he believes in himself. He has a
Uh-huh.
tremendous amount of confidence in himself, which is good. But come on, we in January. Say you're gonna be undisputed in 12 months. I think that's a bit
Yeah.
far fetched.
You think it's a little bit far fetched?
Yep.
Okay, so do you see Teofimo Lopez? Um, how do you see fights going with him? And Regis, you got Regis Progress. How do you see a fight with him and Josh Taylor going down? That's a fight that it could happen. That's a fight that actually, hey man, the more I think about it, maybe that's what he's hitting at, man. Maybe go straight to the guy in Josh Taylor for all the belts. That's what I mean, that's almost what he's saying right now. Josh
Right.
Taylor with ESPN and Bob Arum in top rank. Teofimo Lopez with ESPN, Bob Arum in top rank. Hey, there's some correlation there. What do you think? Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez, DC Mike, how do you see it going?
I mean, it is some correlation there with the networks and promoters, but again, like Leonard Ellaby did a recent interview maybe a month ago with Fight Hype. He was telling him that Teofimo screaming out all this A side B side stuff. He said A side to what? B side to what?
Yeah.
I don't think Teofimo knows the business. Like he had, like Leonard said, he had the hardware, but he didn't know how to turn it into revenue. And I think a lot of
Wow,
fighters
wow,
have
that's
to,
big. Wow, that's big. I didn't think about that. I ain't think
yeah,
of it like that. Wow, that's big. That's the truth too, though.
yeah,
That's the truth. Cause if you want to say it, if the truth be told, they said Teofimo Lopez was going broke in his last fight. I'm being honest. Now these are facts. He said he didn't
okay,
have enough money to pay his nutritionist to cut that weight, to eat those meals that he used to eat. You know, after
right,
paying Tom, Dick, and Harry, and his dad, his dad got to get, his dad gonna get paid first.
right,
So you got to understand, there's already some gray areas with his money situation. You know what I mean? Like, they're saying that he said in an ESPN article. I need to pull it up, but I'm paraphrasing. But in so many words, man, he said, I didn't have, he didn't have enough to pay his nutritionist, man. That's big. You're still trying to
I,
make 135. That's. I feel like that's a key part of your camp. Am I lying, DC Mike? He's at
no,
135. He can barely make 135. Doesn't he need a nutritionist?
definitely do.
At
But
that
a lot
at
of
that point at that point in his career and at that fight, I think a nutritionist would have been key on possibly beating George Camboso. What do you think?
beating them. I don't think the fight would have turned out any different. The only tip I got was he had air in his chest. Some it could have been affecting his breathing, and it could have thrown his
Okay.
whole system off. But as far as his nutritionist, as far as if he would have had that in play, would it have did him any justice? I don't know about the nutritionist part, but the air in the chest part, I'm sure that possibly could have affected his whole system.
Yeah, so do you feel like that air in the chest part, do you feel like that was one of those things where it's like, could have been avoided?
Um, yeah, like I don't know what Teofimo was doing to cause him to get air in his chest. I'm sure that wasn't you know a pleasant experience. I'm sure like a feeling like that getting air in the chest is probably something compared to getting like a broken jaw or fractured jaw. Once it happened, your whole system is off. You don't know what it is, but you just know your
You
system
don't
is
know
off.
what you don't know what it is, but you just feel like something ain't right.
So once your system is off when you're in that ring, everything, your timing and everything is off.
Wow. Wow. So do you feel like Teofimo Lopez was doomed from the start of that fight?
I mean, I ain't gonna say it was doomed, but
I mean, you feel like it happened. You feel like pretty much that fight wasn't a fluke. That some people say, well, Teofimo got caught on a bad night. If he comes back and fights, it could be a different outcome at 140.
a different outcome with Cambosis or anybody.
McCann Bosa
At 140.
at 140, new weight class.
I mean, like Mayweather said in a couple occasions, weight don't win
Uh
fights.
oh. Uh oh.
I think it is some be pretty much similar to the first fight. It may be a little bit, better on T.O.'s part, but I think it'll still, go the distance. I don't think it'll be any stoppages. I think it'll be kind of,
So you
same
don't
old
think it's
drag like
gonna
the
be any
first one.
stoppages? Okay, so
Nah.
you don't think it's gonna be any stoppages? Okay. Wow.
Uh-uh. I
Um,
think it'll be this.
UGC Flame in the chat says, "What's up?" He says, "TLP Can you hear me?
Your audio was cutting out.
Yo, can you hear me?
You now.
Ah,
You now. Yep.
damn, bro. Hey, DC, go back and come back in.
Can you hear me?
Go out and come back in again.
All right, give me 1 second. Hold on.
Can you guys hear my audio? If y'all guys in the chat, can you? Oh, damn, man. That's why I said, man, I got it. Oh yeah, y'all can hear me. So, all right. So we're gonna get DC Mike back in here. My bad about the technical difficulties, you guys. Too many technical difficulties at Corey Lee Boxing. Audio good, okay. Audio good. All right, bet.
Okay.
DC Mike.
I'm
Oh
here.
no, it's still same thing.
Oh
Still
no.
same thing, bro. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna be back talking, and DC Mike he'll be back on again soon, you guys. But yeah, Teofimo Lopez at 140, man. I just feel like he's a really good. He's a good. That's a good fighter, man. That's a good fighter at 140. I think he'll be a better fighter at 140. Do I think he can be undisputed at 140? I'm gonna go with no, man. I'm gonna go with no. I don't not beating Josh Taylor. Yo, DC Mike, can you hear us?
You perfectly.
Yeah, you sound like you're in a microwave. You gotta restart your whole I think your headset and stuff. Might be something to do with that. But yeah, man, you know, I don't know, man. I just think right now, the more I think about it, it's like Teofimo Lopez is a good fighter. I'm not putting anything past him, but he's got so much working against him. He's got his father. He got, and I'm not trying to knock on, anybody, but it's just the facts. I feel like Teofimo Lopez would have put out better results if he had better, you know, he made better decisions leading up into that fight. Um, and hiring a nutritionist should have been at the top. Should have been at the top of that, man. You know. Yeah, there we go. DC Mike.
Hear me?
DC Mike, can you hear us?
I can hear you fine.
Ah, you back on it. Damn. But yeah, man. what was I gonna say? But yeah, so back to the Teofimo Lopez, man. I just really feel that with Teofimo Lopez trying to campaign at 140, he's got to go through some guys, man. He's got to go through some guys to get there, to get that top spot, and if he thinks it's gonna happen with just him and Josh Taylor fighting to get that undisputed spot and stuff like that, man. I just think that it's just one of those things, man. Teofimo Lopez can be can be a great fighter, man, but it's the mental part. It's the mental part, man. And I wish nothing but Teofimo Lopez the best, man. But at the end of the day, man, you know, at the end of the day, man, we gotta, this is a fucked up sport, man. And it's just like that's just the way it is. So I think if he thinks he's just gonna fight Josh Taylor and get undisputed in one fight, I mean, Josh Taylor's calling him a clown. He says the guy is a clown, and he slams him. I mean, that was just he's been talking about that, man. Josh Taylor, when they asked him about fighting Teofimo Lopez in December, he said he shaked his head at facing. He says he got beat up. He pretty much Josh Taylor says let me say what he says word for word. He says we're going. He says yeah. So I mean, what he said was, I think it's an easy fight for myself and a good payday. I think it's a great fight and an easy win for me, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't think his management are going to put him in with any real threats of opponents who are beating him anyway. So forget about it. Wow. He says if it's there and there's enough zeros on the pay packet, then yeah, of course. So he would fight. Josh Taylor saying he would fight Teofimo Lopez if there's enough money involved in it. I think that's definitely a fight that could happen, but I mean, I don't think if Teofimo Lopez is fighting Montana Love next, oh man, that's gonna be a good fight, man. That's gonna be a good fight. I like what I've seen out of Montana Love lately. Montana Love has been really doing his thing lately. He's got off a couple pretty good wins, and yeah, man, I like what I see out of him so far. I think he's a really good fighter, and you know, he got a new trainer and all of that stuff. So I don't know, man. I just think that Montana Love, him signing with his own was probably one of the better things that happened to him, man. You know, and he was on I believe he was on the Jake Paul undercard, if I'm not mistaken. He was on there too, so that's good visibility, um, and stuff like that. He does have a draw with Kenneth Sims Jr. Kenneth Sims Jr. ain't no slouch because he just beat Elvis Rodriguez. Remember, top ranks, aka Golden Boy fighter. Type of allure about him. Elvis Rodriguez. Yeah, so that's a pretty good win for a draw. Either I should say that shows the level of talent of him, and he knocked out Ivan Baratyk, which was a good stoppage, and he just coming off a win of Carlos Diaz as well, so that's another good one. Um, but yeah, man, the more I think about it, you guys, it's like Montana Love's definitely a good fighter. You know, he's a southpaw. He's 5'8". He's got a reach of 68. He's from Cleveland, Ohio, you guys. Um, so those Cleveland fighters can definitely fight, for sure. And he's probably been in camp with you know, Adrian Broner, another Ohio native. I'm pretty sure they sparred each other and stuff like that. So Montana Love has definitely gotten some good sparring, and I think he's a pretty good fighter. Um, but we got to see what he can do moving forward. This is a very tough business, and he's coming off two good wins though. Ivan Baragnikech is a stoppage and was 20-2. Remember, he was in the WBSS tournament and he fought Josh Taylor, I believe. I believe Josh Taylor beat him. So let me see his box rec. Yeah, Josh Taylor gave him his first loss, and it was a unanimous decision loss. So Josh Taylor couldn't even stop him, and Montana Love stopped this guy. So that should tell you a little bit about him. Um, I think that was a really good win for Montana Love in that fight. But yeah, man, moving forward, um, it's a lot of fights out there, man. It's a lot of fights out there. And I just want to see the best fight the best. But moving forward, we got Shakur Stevenson, you guys. Shakur Stevenson is supposed to be he's calling out, he's calling out a pretty good fighter. And and I just think that, right now, the more I think about it, it's like you gotta understand Shakur Stevenson is a different type of animal. They're talking about he could possibly be fighting Stephen Fulton, but Stephen Fulton right now is the unified champion at 130, and you know, that's pretty good. That shows that Stephen Fulton just came off of beating Omar Figueroa's brother, and which was also a champion, and you know, like I said, man, these are pretty good guys. These guys are going up against. These are no slouches at the top, you know. Um, but we got to see. We got to see. Stephen Fulton has showed that he's a really good fighter at 130. I've interviewed Stephen Fulton on here on Quarterly Boxing before, so you definitely got to check that out. I definitely are gonna want to check that out. Stephen Fulton, he's 20-0. You guys, 27 years old. He's 5'6", you guys. So Stephen Fulton is only 5'6". He got a 70-inch reach though. Wow. So he got a 70-inch reach. He beat the likes of you guys know TMT's fighter Angelo Leo for the WBO strap. That was his first world title um title shot that he got. Remember that fight had got postponed, so they stayed with it, and he beat him by unanimous decision. And then he just fought Brandon Figueroa, but he beat Brandon Figueroa by a mid decision. So that was a close fight. You know, that was a close fight. Um, and the Brandon uh Brandon Figueroa versus Stephen Fulton. That was a pretty close fight. Um, but early on, I believe in his like eighth professional fight in 2015, he beat Joshua Greer. Excuse me. Joshua Greer is the night guy. He brings a pillow to the fight, saying he's gonna knock guys out. But it's not looking good for Greer lately. His career's in disarray. He just lost to Jason Maloney. Um, he got a mid decision draw against Edwin Rodriguez, 11-5, and he's just in a rut right now. He's in a rut. He's got to find his power. He's got to find, he's got to get back to the basics. That's what it's looking like. Um, he's 27 years old, but he's 5'4". You guys, he's only 5'4", 66-inch reach. So I can see now where Stephen Ford being a little bit bigger than him and having a longer reach could just be popping that jab out there. You know, you know. Joshua Gary is a more short and statute guy. He's more of a short and statute guy. Um, with a smaller wingspan. So yeah, man. But yeah, man, I would love to know what you guys think about these two fights. Shakur Stevenson is coming off some a pretty good win. Um, and beating, the Marine himself. And I just think he fought a pretty good guy, and Jamel Herring, you know. Jamel Herring he had like five or six title defenses, so he was doing pretty good. And you know, Shakur Stevenson just came in there and wiped that shit out. Like, hey, I'm the man. I respect you, but I'm beating the shit out of you. Um, yeah, so he was on his fourth or fifth title defense. Was the Marine, Jamel Herring. But he was 36. But Jamel Herring was a southpaw, but he was 5'10", 72-inch reach, you guys. So that's a pretty good wingspan, man. 72 inches, man. 72 inches. Shakur Stevenson is only 68 inch. So, you know, and Jamel Herring was getting, it was a one-sided fight for the most part, but he did catch Shakur Stevenson with a couple jabs coming in. I remember that. But it's like one of those things, like, you know, that wasn't enough, and it wasn't going to be enough.